Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Yo, what's up, guys? If you're new here, I'm Exotic Hoops. I make daily basketball content. So if you're into that, then think about subscribing. I definitely appreciate it. Also, if you want to like the video, that helps it grow and helps it get out more people. So that'd be cool too. But today we're gonna be talking about the Detroit Pistons, more specifically Blake Griffin. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm really disappointed that Blake Griffin's looking this bad. It hurts to see, man, because he could have been a really great player. I'm not saying he wasn't good at one time, but he had so much more potential. Injuries bogged him down his entire career. And we're talking about a guy who can dunk from anywhere, man. Well, you know his dunks, bro. I mean, Lob City. We all know about it. He doesn't even dunk anymore, man. Like, that's how much athleticism he lost. He's looked terrible this season. Hasn't looked like an NBA quality player. Averaging 12 points in the season, about like 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Shooting below 40% from the field and about 31% from deep. It just sucks to see, man, because last year, yes, he played terrible too, but he only played about 18 games or so. So I gave him a pass. I was like, okay, you're coming off a big injury. It's all right. But, now he's played like 20 games this season, and it's just not working out. Now the Pistons have said they're not going to play you again. They're sitting you until they figure out a situation, whether it be a trade, a buyout, or whatever it is. But Blake Griffin, you are making your money, but I wish I could see you on the court, like, actually contributing. It sucks, man. But today we're going to be talking about where I think he could be traded to, or if I even think a team will trade for him. So let's get into that. So first off, I was going to say, why would the Pistons do this? Well, obviously, he hasn't played any type of basketball that's worth being out there. They're not really trying to win, even though he's not helping them win. But they just want to develop their young guys. At the end of the day, that's all they want to do. And he's taking valuable minutes away from them. They're like, dang, he's already hampering us enough on the salary cap just by being on our team. Then we're going to let him affect our young players too. Nah, we can't play you, man. I'm sorry. We're going to try to find another situation for you. So that's what it is. So I'm going to go through all the 29 other teams and just see if there's a realistic possibility of him going anywhere. So I'm going to start out in the Eastern Conference. I'm going to start with the Boston Celtics. It's just not going to happen. They have to get like Kemba Walker and like Marcus Smart. It just wouldn't make any sense at all. So no, not Boston Celtics. Brooklyn Nets, unless they want to give up, like maybe they can do some salary cap gymnastics and go with like Joe Harris and DeAndre Jordan. It still wouldn't make any sense. Like, why would they do that for Blake Griffin? He hasn't looked good. For the New York Knicks, they don't even have like salaries that are that big. Like, they would probably have to trade Julius Randle. It's like, he's been their best player, so that's not gonna happen. The Philadelphia 76ers, again, unless they just wanted to get off Tobias Harris, which wouldn't make any sense because he's having like the best year of his career, then I guess they could. But so no to the Sixers too. And the Toronto Raptors, they would have to get like Kyle Lowry or Powell, something like that. I wouldn't do it for them either. The Chicago Bulls, I still don't see it there either. Like I said, it's just a situation where the matching the salary would be too hard, and they're a young team too. It wouldn't even do much. Maybe the Cavaliers, they could do like an Andre Drummond, Blake Griffin swap. Bring Andre back, yay. Nah, that wouldn't make any sense either. You could do the Pacers, but then again, like, what are they gonna give up? They have to give up Miles Turner plus something else, and it's like, then we're giving up assets for this guy. It would have to be like a guy on an expiring deal. That's a huge contract, and I just can't think of anybody right now. The Bucks, they wouldn't do it. I only have to think about that. The Hawks, maybe they could do like a sign and trade for like John Collins if you bring in another team somewhere. But it's like at that point, if they're comfortable with paying Blake Griffin 30-something million a year, they would just go ahead and pay John Collins that much a year. So that ain't happening either. Charlotte Hornets, unless they just want to trade all their like bum contracts for him and then just to have him on the team just to take up minutes for the young guys, and sure. The Miami Heat, that's not happening. They just made the finals. They're not gonna gut their roster for Blake. The Orlando Magic, they would have to trade like Vucevic and Aaron Gordon, and it's like, why would they want him? They're rebuilding. Because I feel like he would only help a contender out. And so the Wizards, that ain't gonna work either, because the Pistons aren't gonna want Russell Westbrook, and I don't even know if the Wizards would want Blake Griffin. So, Eastern Conference, I don't see a way for that to happen. Let's move on to the Western Conference. Okay, so first in the Western Conference, we're gonna go with the Denver Nuggets. Again, I just don't see it happening. They have to get like Gary Harris plus something else. I maybe Gary Harris and Will Barton, or Gary Harris and Paul Millsap still, like I said, doesn't make any sense. But that actually does make a little more sense than the other teams. Like, if they think that Blake Griffin is just unmotivated right now in Detroit, and that if he came there, he could be a lot better than maybe Paul Millsap, maybe they would do it just like if they weren't feeling Gary Harris no more and everything. But I personally would say hell no to that. The Timberwolves, they just don't really have anything, because they don't want to give up one of their few young bright players, and besides that they don't have any contracts to move for them, so that wouldn't work. The Thunder may be like a slight possibility. I remember a few years back they won Russell Westbrook to play with Blake Griffin. They said that'd be cool. It probably would have been, but not no more. They could give Al Horford maybe. So if the Pistons were like, oh, we'd rather have Al Horford, and the Thunder were like, oh, give us a pick and Blake Griffin when you do it. But then why would the Pistons give you a pick? So you see where it's going here. Trailblazers, I don't see that either, but maybe, just maybe, if they want to get off the Nurkic money and believe Blake Griffin could be better, and they package another contract with it, maybe. Like, I still don't really see that. Like, I'm just trying to get the slightest possibilities possible right now. The Jazz, they're playing too good that they wouldn't even think about it. The Warriors, it's pretty much impossible for the Warriors unless they want to, like, say, give up on Draymond Green or something, but Draymond's way better than Blake at this point. The Los Angeles Clippers, no, he's not going back. The Lakers, no, they have to go like Anthony Davis or LeBron, no. Phoenix Suns, they have to give up Chris Paul or gut their entire young core. Like, I'm talking about, like, you know, Mikal Bridges and Cameron Johnson, those guys. No, it's not happening. Sacramento Kings, no, I mean, they have to go like Buddy Hield and Harrison Barnes, something like that. And it's like, why won't we do that for Blake? So that's not happening either. Dallas Mavericks, salaries won't really work unless they give up like Tim Hardaway Jr. plus another valuable person like Kleba or something. And like I said, no reason to do that. Houston Rockets, they would have to probably include either Wall or Oladipo, but even though they're both injury prone, Blake Griffin's a lot more, so they wouldn't do that. The Grizzlies, they don't really have an avenue to go about getting him, I don't think. The Pelicans, it really doesn't make any sense. They already had Zion. That's ridiculous. And the Spurs, unless they just wanted to trade Aldridge and package a few other, like Rudy Gay and some contracts, and they think they can revive his career, that would be like the slightest chance. So maybe the Nuggets and the Spurs are the only teams I see like with that much of a chance to make it. But even then, I don't see the trade happening. So basically, I could have told y'all this before I even went over these teams, but I just wanted to put that out there and say, this is my point. No team wants to trade for Blake Griffin. And if they do want to trade for Blake Griffin, they're going to want like a first round pick back, or at least some type of compensation, or a young player. Like maybe like, oh, throw in Josh Jackson. We might do it. You know, like the Thunder. So, oh, we'll do it for Josh Jackson and Blake Griffin. You get Al Horford. But why would they do that? Like, literally, if they give up assets to get rid of him, it doesn't make any sense because they're not winning right now anyways. They could just hold on him till his contract's over and be like, oh, okay, well, so long, man. It sucked having you on the team for this long, but we weren't giving up assets to get rid of you. And that's the thing. So we can talk about the buyout, but if you're going to buy someone out, they just got through paying Josh Smith, so they're definitely not going to stretch his contract. And Blake Griffin's getting paid so much money, like $37 million a year, if I'm not mistaken. So they're gonna buy him out. They're still gonna be paying him a massive amount of money for the rest of his contract. So they don't want to stretch it. And they like, if you're gonna be on the team, why would we buy you out? We'd rather just keep you for the slight possibility we could trade you for something, you know, sometime during the rest of your contract. So I think Blake Griffin's kind of screwed. Not gonna lie, unless some team just see something that I don't think he can be a real NBA player again. I hate to say it because I like watching Blake Griffin, but this may be the end for Blake Griffin, man. He may just ride out the rest of his contract in Detroit, and then after that, may not get picked up, or may not see much minutes. That's all I got time for y'all today, though, guys. If you like the video, like I said, hit the like button down below. I definitely appreciate it. Also, if you're still not subscribed, what are you doing, man? I couldn't tell you what you're doing. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Peace out.